Good morning. I am so happy you're seeing me. How's everybody doing? I'm super happy to be doing this video. It's extremely early where I am, but hopefully I will be coherent. So I want to bring about the business of your genitalia, which I had in my story poll recently. And first of all, I want to give you a rundown of that story in case not everybody saw those story sequence, basically. And then I want to give you some coaching perspectives on how to approach that in case you ever get triggered by anything like this. When you hear this somewhere, when you read it somewhere, when you see it on my channel, or when it comes up in your relationship. So first of all, the rundown. A few days ago, I was carelessly browsing on Twitter and found a post from St. Valentine's 2 years ago on a fitness coach's account. And it was a beautiful photo of this woman. And the caption text over the photo said, "Happy St. Valentine's. My body is also his, so I'm going to take care of it with pride." And somewhere in the post, she also said that she thought it was rude not to take care of your body when you're in a relationship. And I read some of the reactions that she got. Some people got offended. Some people thought it was rude for her to bring up that story. And some people understood and supported. Anyway, the reactions were polarized. It was never anything balanced. So I said, why don't I bring this and wake up a bit on my community? So I put 2 story polls. One was, your genitalia is your partner's, quotation marks. How do you feel about this? And the other one was, okay, the source of this statement. And then the question, who do you groom your genitalia for? When you're in a relationship, obviously. So then I got answers. I got somewhere around 8 or 9 answers for each of the stories. Some people answered both. Some people just took one and answered. First of all, I shared the answers that were for both stories from people, and most of them were somewhere in the lines of, what the heck, my genitalia is my own. Somebody even said just bollocks. That was a British guy, by the way. I'm not saying who it was. And the second answer was, however, in most cases, I actually groom for myself, but I'm also grooming for the other person as a consequence. Or somebody said, if the other person comes with a suggestion, I'm open to it. So I thought, okay, we don't really think that our body belongs to anybody else, but we're conscious that somebody else is there and enjoying it also. So we consider them as well. I feel that is a very, let's say, balanced approach. So you're not losing yourself into somebody else. You're not being completely inconsiderate of the other person, your intimate partner. So now I have 2 coaching questions for you in case you haven't followed that story sequence or thread. In your relationship, intimate relationship, where hopefully your entire body gets a lot of attention from your partner, but certainly at least an entire region gets more attention. How do you feel about your genitalia? Do you feel that it's just your business, what happens or what you do with it? Do you feel that it's also the other person's business or benefit or interest? Vice versa. How do you feel about your partner's body? Is it just their business, what happens to their body, genitalia, with focus? Or, is it also yours? Is it, are you also benefiting from it? Are you also impacted by it somehow? Do you have a saying in it? Do you want to have a say in it? So do you ever discuss, your genitalia with your partner, as in grooming, okay, taking care of it? I'm very, very curious about this, I will admit, but the perspective of a coach is just to present perspectives and then to allow you the space to think about them. There's obviously no right or wrong answer. There is, however, a point here that I want to make. The answers that you give will hopefully match the answers that your partner will give. Because otherwise you're probably going to have some friction there, and not necessarily sexy friction, you know, not necessarily intimate friction or juicy orgasmic friction. You want that kind of friction, and usually matching perspectives will give that kind of friction. Otherwise, I don't know, if you're into arguing about all sorts of things, including your genitalia, then maybe that will also be sexy to you. So why this video now? Well, St. Valentine's is 1 week away, and probably people are going to be doing all sorts of things. I don't know what you guys and girls do around St. Valentine's. Maybe you buy lingerie, maybe you buy toys, maybe you buy cosmetics, maybe you go and have your entire body to the beautician, especially ladies. Maybe guys do that also. I have no idea. Maybe you try on a new perfume or a new cream or a new lubricant with perfume. I do not have any idea, but this is a perspective, you know, worth bringing to your attention. What do you consider, or how do you feel about your genitalia when you're in an intimate relationship? Or maybe when you're not in an intimate relationship, or maybe it doesn't apply. It's like, even if you are or you're not, it's the same mentality. How do you relate to this? And last question, do you ever want to have a saying in your partner's genitalia? Do you want your partner, or would you allow your partner to have a saying in your genitalia? Maybe some people want to go for jewelry. You know, maybe some people think it's fun. Maybe others don't think it's fun. Maybe somebody's curious in a relationship. Maybe the other person doesn't know what to say. So it's not just a boundary thing, like up to where I allow somebody else to have a saying in what I do with my body. But this is also an interaction thing, because I've very rarely, not randomly, very rarely heard somebody that their genitalia is just for them and they would just be happy if nobody touched it. Most people actually crave to have their genitalia touched, penetrated, or penetrate somebody else's genitalia. I mean, that's what they understand in terms of sexual expression. And for most people, they want the other person there. Few people are okay with being alone for extended periods of time, and I'm talking years here, and never having anybody else's genitalia touching their own. So I do want to bring this perspective to your attention, okay? For most of us, being not touched by anybody else, or not being touched by anybody else, is a sad, sorrow, really negative scenario. That being said, how do you feel about owning your body? If you don't really conceive, like spending your entire life alone and not having anybody else touch it, how do you feel about, well, do they have a saying in it or not? Do I groom for them or not? Maybe I dislike the idea that my body is also, or my genitalia is also my partner's. I'm not okay with it. I don't like it. I feel it's repulsive. I feel like bollocks, like the British guy said. I feel like, what the fuck? Like, this is a Romanian woman who said it. You know, like, despite all that, do you see yourself not ever touching anybody, or not ever being touched by anybody else? If not, how would you feel? Because I'm not saying there's a right or a wrong here, but I'm just bringing a perspective here. Like, there is this, unbalance. Like, I can't be alone for the entire life. That would be like, what the heck? I cannot have sex with other people. And yet my body is only mine. It's a very slippery slope that I'm going, but I still want to bring this to your attention, because you never know. Some people might be into dominance or domination. My words aren't with me. I'm still not up yet, by the way. But, so some people might not be offended by that. That I might actually be turned on that somebody claims ownership of their genitalia. Maybe that's how they feel wanted. Others might be, what the fuck, get out of my face. Maybe they'll show them the middle finger also, who knows? But still, what's your perspective and what's your take on this? You got 1 week to consider, since Valentine's is coming, and yeah, I'm gonna do the post with all the stories. If I get any private messages on this, also, I'm gonna ask for permission to share without disclosing names, ID photo, or account photos. So don't worry about that. And I'm curious to have this discussion going. So that's it. Enjoy. Good morning if you're just waking up like I am, or going back to sleep. And I'll see you with other posts, videos, and perspectives. So I'd love to know your thoughts. You can share them in a comment. You can share them via private message. Also share about that. And yeah, see you soon with other infos. Bye.